want to understand. So let me talk about, put it on. Let me just talk about, spontaneous, huh? And these things that we've mentioned. Because these things are important. And when you say to me that you don't understand, well, I don't expect you to understand. What I expect is suddenly one day for it all to drop away. Now, let me just say that, it's it really, goes without saying, although it has to be said, that, when I speak and when I act, I speak and I act spontaneously. In other words, a long time ago, if you want to speak about time, I mean, remember that time is part of this dream world anyway, so it doesn't really exist. But for the sake of conversation, we have to mention time. So much more than half a century ago, for me, all this idea that I did things, that I acted by my own choice and my own volition, just dropped away. When we're speaking about, pure consciousness, nouns in the English language are no good, verbs are better. What I mean by that is this, that there is no one and no thing that does something, but there is doing. There is no one and no thing that sees, but there is seeing. There is no one and no thing that knows, but there is knowing. So when I say to you that I do not know, and I don't know, and I don't understand, but there is understanding here, there is seeing here, there is knowing here, but it's nothing to do with what you would call me or I. But there is doing. There is no doer. So a long time ago, this idea, this nonsense of me choosing to do things fell away, and I understood that I am simply an object in pure consciousness, as is everything else in this dream world, and I arise in that and fall in that, and I have no sense of being a separate individual personality that chooses to do things. Huh? And so there is no one here. I am a bird in an empty cage. This house is part of the dream world, and there is no one here at all. And so what you see is part of your dream world. And so I understand if you say, I don't understand what you're saying, and that's good. And I would say to you, that's good, So, as I mentioned before, I am not a teacher. There are no such things as teachers. There is no teaching as such, there is learning. And so what I say to people is this, that, I am just sharing and just having a conversation with people. And, if I have any kind of, thing to say, any kind of method, it is just doubt everything. And, doubt what I say, doubt what you hear. And there will be a point where all of it drops. And so we do live spontaneously, whether we like it or accept it or not. We do not choose to do things. So there is doing, but there is no one here doing it. There is seeing, but there is no one here seeing. There is knowing, but there is no one here knowing. And so that is impossible to understand with the mind. And so you have to come to a point where all of that nonsense, that you are a doer, drops and stops, and then it's done.